Dear viewers, in today's gripping tale, Truong sheds his shyness to boldly kiss tieu in public, a defiant act of love that defies village gossip. As tieu's dragon fruit harvest thrives, Truong uncovers a sinister plot during his inspections, with Hung's betrayal and her ex-husband's vengeful threats converging to sabotage their stilt house dream. A cryptic note bearing Hung's initials reveals a chilling collusion, pushing Truong to protect their future. Yet, as their love grows stronger, will they overcome the lurking malice, or will treachery tear them apart? Dive into this emotional saga, subscribe, and hit the bell to catch every heart-pounding twist. The village stirred under dawn's tender embrace, sunlight weaving golden threads through a delicate mist, gilding the tiled roofs of Tieng Nguyen's tranquil hamlet. Inside her modest wooden home, Lai Tieu's voice rang out, warm and inviting, as if welcoming cherished friends. Lai Tieu greets you all. Join me for a new video. May it spark joy in your hearts. Her tone, clear as a mountain stream, carried the vibrant spirit of the forest, her smile a radiant beacon of resilience amid life's relentless trials, her eyes alight with gratitude for the simple blessings of her life. She stepped into her garden, where dragon fruit trees stood heavy with vibrant red orbs, their glossy skins glowing beneath lush foliage, a testament to nature's generosity. With careful hands she plucked each ripe fruit, placing them gently in her bamboo basket, her movements a dance of care and purpose. "These are stunning. So many and so big," she exclaimed, her voice laced with delight, her eyes sparkling with pride. Bigger than the others, perfect for the market. Climbing higher to reach the ripest ones, her effort was evident, but her meticulous care remained paramount, each fruit a small victory over hardship. Biting into a dragon fruit, its sweet juiciness burst across her tongue, drawing a soft, so perfect, pure sweetness. Her basket brimmed with vibrant fruits, their fragrance a promise of prosperity. She hoisted it onto her shoulder, her non-law shielding her from the rising sun, and set off for the market, her steps steady on the winding dirt path. But a shadow clung to her joy, a crumpled letter in her pocket, its ink stained with her ex-husband's venomous vow to reclaim their son Tieu, his chilling presence at the market a fresh wound. She pushed it aside, her resolve a quiet fire, but a flicker of movement at the garden's edge, a figure, his silhouette too familiar, sent a chill down her spine. At the market, Tieu claimed a bustling corner, arranging her dragon fruits on a woven tray, their vivid red drawing curious eyes. Her voice soared, vibrant and clear. "Dragon fruits, 15,000 a kilo. Fresh from my garden." An elderly woman paused, intrigued. "How much chow?" 15,000, try one ba." Tieu offered, her smile radiant. The woman's eyes lit up at the taste. "So sweet." Another joined, exclaiming, "These are divine." The praise warmed her heart. The markets hum a comforting rhythm, smiles exchanged like treasures. But the figure lingered at the stall's edge, his gaze a blade of malice, her ex-husband's threats now a living specter, her hands trembling as she weighed a kilo. Across the village, Truong strode through the market in his crisp inspector's uniform, his presence steady but his mind troubled by a discovery. Passing a new construction site, he paused, noting the rising walls of a hidden project. "Why's this site unmarked?" he muttered, his brow furrowing. "This design, it's familiar. Why didn't Kin mention it?" Suspicion stirred as he saw no signs of the contractor or owner. He dialed Hung, the project records manager. "Hung, it's Truong. The system flagged a new house here, but it's unmarked. What's going on?" Hung's voice faltered. "Must be a glitch, on only Nam and Sons projects are listed." Truong pressed, "Just those two? This one's hidden, no names." Hung hesitated. "Probably a mix-up on. I'll have it corrected." "Do it fast," Truong said, his unease growing, sensing a deliberate omission. His phone buzzed again. "How, his colleague? On, you free today?" How asked. "Got inspections scheduled," Truong replied. "Forgot, didn't I? Prep the files, we're heading out soon." How agreed, on it on. Truong's mind lingered on the unmarked site, a nagging doubt intertwining with whispers of Hung's recent negligence, hinting at a deeper conspiracy. As Tieu sold her dragon fruits, unaware of the brewing storm, Truong sensed a connection to her ex-husband's threats, two shadows converging to threaten their dream of a stilt house, their future hanging in the balance. Truong and Hao moved through the village with purposeful strides, their inspection rounds a meticulous dance of duty, their focus on security and safety unwavering despite the undercurrents of suspicion swirling in Truong's mind. Their first stop was a bustling boarding house, its faded sign creaking in the breeze, a hub for transient workers. Truong's voice was firm but fair as he addressed the owner, a wiry man with a cautious smile. "We're checking security compliance here. Regular tenants." The owner nodded, wiping his hands on a rag. "Yes, Sanbo, mostly long-term." "Got their registration papers?" Truong asked, his eyes sharp, scanning the cluttered office. The owner offered tea, his hospitality a practice gesture, and handed over a dog-eared list. "All registered at the commune, Sanbo." Truong scanned the names, his brow furrowing at a new entry. Nguyen Thuy Duong, she's new? How confirmed, flipping through his notes. Yes, On arrived last week. Truong's gaze lingered on another name. Ban Thi Lin. Her registration expires March 23rd. Remind her to renew. The owner nodded, his voice eager. I'll handle it, San Bo. Truong handed back the papers, his tone steady but commanding. Any issues, fights, theft, report to us immediately. Thanks for cooperating. Turning to Hao, Truong's voice lowered, probing. This is Tuan's zone, right? Hao nodded, his pen poised. Yes, Tuan's got it under control. Truong's approval was curt, his mind elsewhere. Good. He's diligent. As they stepped onto the dusty road, their talk shifted to broader concerns. Truong's unease about Hung's recent lapse simmering beneath his calm exterior. Any trouble spots, Hao? He asked, his eyes scanning the horizon. Hao replied, his voice confident. Nam's area is stable now. Those reckless youths causing trouble have been dealt with. Truong nodded, but his tone hardened. And the environment? That dump Hung neglected. Hao's response was quick, almost too polished. Cleaned up on, I checked myself. Truong's eyes narrowed, sensing a rehearsed assurance. Double-check it, Hao. We can't afford another lapse like Hung's. That mess wasn't just negligence, something's off. Hao nodded, but a flicker of unease crossed his face, unnoticed by Truong, who was already piecing together fragments of doubt. A cryptic note found at the dump, bearing Hung's initials, had hinted at sabotage, and now whispers among vendors suggested Hung's resentment over a missed promotion ran deeper than Truong had realized. Their rounds led to the market's largest fruit stall, a vibrant hub of activity where baskets brimmed with mangoes, lychees, and tieu news dragon fruits. Hao gestured. This is the main supplier, on biggest in the market. Truong approached the owner, a stout woman with a shrewd smile. We're inspecting today. Got your permits? She handed over a stack of papers, her confidence unshaken. All here, San Bo, fresh and verified. Truong instructed Hao, his voice crisp. Check the dates, origins, every detail. Hao moved swiftly, his eyes scanning labels and receipts. All fresh, on papers valid, he reported, but Truong's instincts tingled, sensing an undercurrent of haste in Hao's thoroughness. Biggest stall here, right? Truong asked the owner, his tone probing. Locals rely on it? She nodded, her smile wide. Yes, on best quality always. Truong's approval was brief. Keep it clean, our people deserve the best. As they walked away, he muttered to Hao, check the smaller stalls too. Fakes slipped through the cracks. Hao nodded, but Truong caught a fleeting glance toward the market's edge, where a familiar figure lingered, Hung, his posture tense, his eyes darting as if tracking their movements. Truong's suspicion deepened, the note scrawl flashing in his mind, a chilling clue to a colleague's hidden malice. Their final stop was the village's water system, a vital lifeline pulsing beneath the hamlet's surface. Truong eyed the reservoir, its steady flow a contrast to his turbulent thoughts. This supplies everyone? He asked, his voice steady but probing. Hao confirmed, yes, on large capacity, well maintained. Truong's concern surfaced, his eyes tracing the limestone-heavy pipes. Too much sediment here, filters holding up? Hao nodded, his tone reassuring. Managed well on regular checks. At the filtration site, Hao struggled with a rusted hatch, his fingers fumbling. Filter 1 and 2 on full protocols posted, he said, pointing to a faded chart. Truong inspected the gauges, his brow furrowing. Running smoothly, no red flags? Hao confirmed, all clear on. But Truong's insistence was unrelenting. Let's check the households, ensure the water's clean. Hao hesitated, his voice betraying a hint of reluctance. Can't the team handle it on? Truong's response was sharp, his patience worn thin by Hung's recent betrayal. After Hung's mess, I'm checking everything myself. This is Dewey's zone, right? He's doing well, but I need to see it. Hao nodded, his hesitation masked by a quick smile, but Truong's instincts screamed caution, sensing Hao's unease might hide more than fatigue. At the households, Truong found 2 faulty meters, their needles frozen. The evening sun dipped low, casting a fiery glow over the lush rice fields, their emerald waves swaying gently. Truong walked the village path, his heart heavy from the day's duties, when he spotted Tieu Nu resting by a field, her face weary but radiant. Tieu Nu, what are you doing here? He asked, his voice soft with surprise. Just back from selling dragon fruits, On, she replied, her smile warm despite the day's toil. Tough day? He asked, sitting beside her, noting the sweat on her brow. Not too bad, she said, brushing it off, but her exhaustion was clear. He wiped her forehead gently, his voice tender. Rest a bit, Em, you've earned it. I was just checking the water systems with Hao. Tieu Nu's eyes softened, but a hint of sadness crept in. The farmer's hope for a good harvest on last season's storms ruined so much. Truong's heart ached for her. You're looking worn on, work's been tough? He shrugged. I'm fine, Em. She offered a dragon fruit, its vibrant red a stark contrast to the green fields. Save this for you and Due, sweetest one. He grinned, peeling it carefully, its aroma filling the air. Smells amazing, Em. Let's share it. They ate, the fruit's sweetness a fleeting escape. Tastes like heaven, he said, cutting her a piece. Good for the blood, right? Duelle loved this. She laughed, swatting a mosquito. Sweet and cooling, perfect. Their talk turned to his work. Inspections went smoothly, he shared. No big issues. She nodded, her voice earnest. I just want your work to go well, on no trouble. Her concern deepened, her voice trembling. I'm scared someone's out to hurt you, unlike Hung's mess. He reassured her. Hung's dump is cleaned up, Em, don't worry. But her fear lingered. Her ex-husband's threats a constant shadow. I just want you safe, On. Truong's heart swelled, his usual shyness fading under the weight of his love. Seeing you and Due every day, that's my strength, Em. She blushed, her voice soft. I feel the same, On. Their talk turned to the stilt house. The carpenters are working hard on, she said, her eyes bright with hope. Our new home. He nodded. It's coming along, Em. Her smile faltered, doubt creeping in. Am I enough for you, On? I'm not beautiful or clever enough. Truong cut her off, his voice fierce with conviction. Don't say that, Em. You're my everything. Waking up to you is all I need. Her eyes sparkled, her voice a whisper. I'm so happy with you, On. A villager passed, eyeing them curiously. Tieu whispered. Someone's watching, On. Truong's heart raced, his shyness battling his love. Let them watch, he said, his voice bold. He leaned in, his lips meeting hers in a tender public kiss. A defiant act that silenced the whispers around them. Tieu's cheeks flushed, her smile radiant. Their bond a fortress against the village's gossip. They gazed at the sky, clouds drifting lazily. Beautiful, isn't it? She said. Like summer's promise, he replied, his voice wistful. As a kid, I dreamed of flying on those clouds. She laughed. Me too, wings to soar anywhere. He looked at her, his eyes blazing with love. I don't need wings anymore, Em. You're my sky, my home. His words were a vow, their love a beacon, but a chilling clue. A note slipped to Truong, hinting at Hung's collusion with Tieu's ex-husband. Cast a shadow, their kiss a bold stand against a looming threat to their stilt house and their future.
Reader or widower, I would appreciate talking to her or him. Again, to my surprise, she told me about Phyllis, a spas health director who had lost her husband several months before. I invited Phyllis to have lunch with me the next day, and we quickly established some common ground. We were about 10 years apart in age, but she had also been with her husband for about 50 years. She talked about how they met and what their life had been like. And I could tell by her stories and the warmth of her tone of voice that she, too, had a happy marriage. Then it was my turn. And all I could do was cry as I told the story of my own husband's battle with cancer and chronic pain.